Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today's question comes to us from Dubai, and this comes from Henry Matakupan. And he is in Dubai as an expatriate and is putting up an antenna. He's working on VHF, okay? Now, he works not just FM, but also all the other different modes, like CW, single sideband, data, digital, satellite, all this kind of stuff can be done with 2 meters and 70 centimeters. He has what in Dubai is called an advanced amateur license, and he's permitted to run up to 100 watts on VHF. Now, his call sign is A65NL, okay? Now, the NL is for the Netherlands. It's, I guess, what we would call a vanity call sign, but the people in Dubai allowed him to have that because that's where he's from. A65N, what A6 is actually the prefix, okay? 5 is the call district, and NL is his suffix. A6 is the prefix. If you look at the IARU list of what call signs are used in what countries, you'll find out that they ran out of alphabetic call signs. And so like A is used by a couple different countries. From AN, I think, on up is the United States. But A6 is Dubai. Okay, anyway, he is wondering what to do. He's got a couple different antennas. He buys them from an outfit in Spain called Big Signal, and they're quads. Let me show you the 2 antennas he has. This is from Big Signal's website. Again, they're in Spain. And this is one of his antennas. Now, this happens to be pointed horizontally. He's underneath the thing. 4 elements on 2 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 elements on 70 centimeters. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So this is a good antenna for him to use. Now, this is an antenna he uses just on 2 meters. 4 elements on 2 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? These are cubical quads. They're perfectly good antennas, and they put out a very nice signal. Now, historically, cubical quads have had issues with strength in winds, especially during ice storms. I don't think you're going to worry about an ice storm in Dubai. Anyway, these are fairly small because of the frequencies involved. These are, I think, a half wavelength on either side. So they work quite well. Now, he likes to operate FM. That's vertically polarized. He likes to operate single sideband, CW, all the digital modes and things like that. They're all horizontally polarized. So he has 2 antennas and wants to know what to do with the 2 antennas that are there. Can he put them on one mast? If so, one above the other. Or can he put them near each other like on a rotating pole? These are very directional antennas. You've got to rotate it somehow. He uses the Armstrong method to rotate these. That is, he's got a pole sticking out of the side of it, and he uses his strong arms to push that to a new direction. That is the Armstrong method, and it's been used for 100 years in ham radio. Anyway, no rotator here. Now, I would say if these were just Yagis, mount them like this in between each other. But you can't do that here because they get in the way of each other. Yes, these are polarized. Here's the feed point, and over here is the feed point for the 70 centimeter, and here is the feed point for the 2 meter. Now, the problem is if you've got to turn one of these 90 degrees so it's vertical for use on ordinary FM type things, and you want one of these horizontally polarized, so it's going to be turned the other way. Okay, how far apart do you have to separate them? The answer is, there's no good answer. I would recommend that they be a wavelength apart. Okay, so 2 meters, a wavelength is 6 some odd feet, 2 whole meters. That's actually the frequency at, I think, 150 megahertz. So you can put them a little further apart on this. You can put them on like a pole like this and mount them this way. One's turned, So it's horizontally polarized. One is turned so that it's vertically polarized. You might want to feed those with different feed lines, okay, rather than like a fan dipole setup. Or you can turn it up like this. I'd put the horizontal on the bottom and the vertical on top for no particular reason, just it seems like that might work a little bit better. But you can try either. You will want to experiment with the distances, because the distances will determine how much one antenna interacts with the other. And they will interact. But the fact that they're cross-polarized, when you get out about a wavelength, okay, you don't have the issue that you have if they're right on top of each other. If you've got a little bit of phase delay in this one compared to this one, you can get circular polarization out of it. So you want to try to minimize that and put them, I'd say, 2 meters apart, maybe a little bit more, and then start checking with other people that you've talked to, where you switch one antenna in, out, or you talk to somebody on FM and get some good solid signal strength measurements, and then try setting it up differently and see what happens. Some experimentation is called for here. What you want is these two antennas not to act as a pair that are connected, but rather as independent antennas. The fact that you've got them cross-polarized really helps, but I'd still move them a little bit further apart. So I hope that helps. Please do write back and tell me what you do for this. And for anybody who's interested in big signal, they make all kinds of quad antennas in Spain. So there you have it. Until we next meet, 73.